None of these food combinations should work, and yet they've managed to stick around for quite some time. So I figured let's give them a try, and while we're at it, let's make this worthwhile and talk about some of the interesting marketing ideas that this can spark for small business owners. So today I'm going to taste test some of what I think are probably some of the grossest combinations that I could find out there that people seem to swear by. And while we're at it, I want to break down a couple of marketing lessons that I think small business owners don't always think about when it comes to how they market their small business, and maybe give you some new perspectives on how to do it, while we also figure out whether or not like soy sauce and ice cream, pickles and peanut butter, and orange juice and Oreos can work. All right, so first things first, I've got my lovely vanilla Tillamook ice cream, because if I have to eat a bunch of ice cream, we're going to pick a brand I actually enjoy eating. And my Korean spoon, thank you, Brandon Sanderson. I'm obsessed with these now. And we have a little soy sauce. Oh my God, this feels sacrilege. How do people really eat? I really need to know, y'all. Do people seriously do this? Like, this feels super messed up to do. That's all we're saying here. That also said, I will throw out there, I think one of the reasons that I think this might work, maybe, is because like this idea of opposites attract does work a lot. It works a lot in food. It works a lot in everything, right? So, you know, the sweet and salty kind of creamery or creamy and like thin flavor, like we'll see how it goes. What I don't know if it's going to work, like the soy sauce savory side, the umami side there, I don't know how well that's going to go with this, right? Like if I want salty and sweet, I could just do like a little bit of salt on my like, or a salted caramel would be even better, right? So let's see if this is working for this combination, and then we can also talk about like doing this for your business too, because I think there are ways to apply this people don't always think about. So I've dug down, I've tried to get a chunk of soy sauce there. Sounds so wrong. Oh my God. Wow. No. Oh my. This kind of reminds me of like fries and milkshake, right? It's got some stuff going for it. And the soy sauce is not working. Like, I don't know who came up with this or who decided that this is the opposites attract combo. But like, here's the lesson, right? Not every time opposites don't always attract, right? They still have to work together. And the problem is like, I got this nose full of soy sauce that just completely contrasted with like the mouthful of ice cream. And I keep getting like little bits of like soy sauce mixed. And it's just, the combination is not working. It's too much umami. It's too many other flavors in the soy sauce that are also coming in to really like contrast and really not work with the vanilla ice cream. And I like, this is a combination that can work, salty and sweet. Like another combination that I saw that seemed to me like it would probably work a lot better was like a really good virgin olive oil with a little bit of sea salt over ice cream. Like that I think would probably work really well and better than this. It would still give you a little bit of that umami flavor, but I think it would add a little bit of floral and some salt instead of just like this like back end like hits you and then lingers and like messes with all the other cream flavors of the soy sauce itself. So when it comes to small business marketing, right, those opposites attract thing can work, right? The things that don't always seem like they should work together can absolutely work together. This could be like a professional message, but delivered in a very playful or interesting method. We see this a lot on social media with like skits where it's entertaining and it's playful, but it is also communicating an actual like message to people. Talking about structure and how to structure stuff like your marketing, for example, but doing it in creative and interesting ways, that can also work really well. But what I will say is that a lot of times, I think sometimes we just grab something because it's like, oh, this is an opposite and this is an opposite, and let's just see. And it can end up feeling kind of chaotic and not working well together at all. There has to be like, it has to be some undertone of thing that brings whatever your opposites together, you know, opposites attract together. And like one idea on this could even be like taking a controversial take and like delivering it in a sweet or kind way, right? Like a lot of times people will do controversial takes, but they'll deliver them in a very aggressive, over the top way. So maybe you just take like this like controversial take, but delivered very nicely. And you could try like just taking two things that maybe don't seem like they should fit, but somehow do. Kind of like, for example, pickles and peanut butter. which again is a combination I don't think is going to work. Now I will say I absolutely love pickles. I'm a pickle fiend. My husband gives me a hard time for how much I like pickles sometimes. And the fact that I really like the brine, don't judge me, but yes, I might drink brine. But I don't know that this one's going to work because again, I think we have like kind of soft and then really soft. And then again, I think we have more umami, but I'm slightly more optimistic that this one will work just because I feel like it has been around a lot longer, right? Like I didn't realize soy sauce and vanilla ice cream was a thing until I looked it up. And I definitely didn't know Oreos and orange juice was a thing until I looked it up. But let's see. Cheers to weird combinations. Oh my God. All right. If I have to pick between the two, I'm going for the pickles and the peanut butter. Am I going to go grab pickles and peanut butter late night? Probably not. No. Is it like offensive? No. Like I think this one works a lot better, and there is a little bit of crunch with the pickle. There is the sweet with the peanut butter. I think the quantity I did there was actually pretty solid. I think it created a really interesting like flavor combination. It definitely created a front runner that was much sweeter, but then on the back end there was an almost savory little bite behind it, and I think it did work a lot better. I do think this is definitely very specific to, certain people and probably certain taste buds. And like, that's great. And if that's you, please feel free to get in the comments and defend it or tell me that I used the wrong pickles or the wrong peanut butter. I get it. For some reason, the peanut butter we got was like super runny. So maybe that was part of it. But like, I think this works for a very specific base of people. And I also think that is, I said it, I know I said 2 lessons, but like side lesson here, like this works for a very specific base of people, and your marketing is really supposed to do the same. Like your business really should be focusing on and doing the exact same thing. You really should be focusing on a specific base of people. You don't need to be for everyone, and that's okay. And as we go into our last one, I will say that I do think some of these combinations exist partially because of the controversy, right? Like some of these combinations exist because everyone has an opinion. Like I would guess that you probably have an opinion over whether like ice cream and soy sauce should work together, whether or not you've actually eaten it. Same thing for pickles and ice cream. If you do, or if you don't, if you do me a favor and hop in the comments and like just give me some sort of, because y'all, I ate this crap for you and I'm about to do this one. So I'm going to do the pity marketing thing here a little bit and be like, hi, you want to help me out? Hop in the comments. Do something, because my God, I don't know that was worth it. That said, that leads us to Oreos and orange juice, which I'm going to be honest was another one that I really thought I was having my leg pulled on, and yet I kept finding people talking about, oh my God, it's actually really good. So either y'all are mean or this is actually going to be the best combination to end with. But I will say, here's my theory. In addition to like everyone has, opinions on this stuff, I think some stuff endures because someone else did it and they were like, that was so horrible. I have to trick everyone else into doing it. So like, I'm going to say it was great and get everyone else to try it too, right? Like, I really, truly do think that is why some stuff endures. And in this one, I do think that is the message here, right? Like sometimes you have to do something that is built to get people talking about you, that maybe is accurate. Maybe it's accurate to you. Maybe it's not broad. Maybe it's like very specific, or maybe you're just doing something or saying something that is intended to get people talking about you. And I think a lot of times small business owners are kind of scared to go that route, because they're scared of the controversy that might spark up from that. They're scared they might say something that might end up getting them canceled. And what I can say is this, is like, for the most part, as long as you are talking about your business, you are talking about like orange juice and Oreos, like that type of controversy is enough to get people talking. You could say something to the effect of, I agreed with part of how this situation was handled, right? And then let people talk in the comments. That's still gonna be controversial without claiming all of how a situation was handled that maybe wasn't handled the way you would have done it, but you can still take a stance on things and get people talking, because that is a big part of getting your stuff out there and getting it further. And yes, I'm absolutely stalling at the idea of having oranges, because y'all, these were not great combinations, and I feel like I've just set myself up to fail on this one here. But cheers. Oh my God. This is not bad. Again, is it a combination I'm going to grab all the time? Probably not. However, what it does remind me of It reminds me a little bit of like the blonde Oreos, and I actually think like one of the blonde Oreos would look really good or taste really good with this because it just adds a little bit of like citrus and bite to it, which actually kind of cuts through. And because they're both sweet, it does like complement itself. I really thought this was going to be a complete bomb. And this one actually is probably the best combination. That said, I do still think that people were talking, and maybe it's this one is the one that people were talking about that like they tried it and so they had to try and convince someone else to try. I swear that's not what I'm trying to do to you with the orange juice and Oreo thing, by the way. But if you do want to give it a try, I think it is a good combination, and it might spark some different ideas for you on what you can do with your marketing, what you can do that will get people talking or thinking or just going in a different direction. So last challenge for you. Can you find somewhere where you can introduce contrast or a bold pairing with your marketing that will make people talk and stop and think?